Can you still make a case for Liverpool after that today?
No, I think Man City will win the league. I don't see Liverpool or Chelsea cutting that gap.
Would you have felt differently had they won?
I just think, yes, the extra 2 points, and then I think if Liverpool would have won their game in hand, as you'd probably expect them to, I think it's Leeds at home, then you think, OK, 6 points is very tough against this Man City team. But once it goes more than that, you're talking sort of 3 games, you've got to catch up on Man City. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all, really. I mean, Man City right now, in terms of what I said before, in terms of controlling games, that's the big difference. I think Liverpool this season have been fantastic going forward. Chelsea really good sort of defensively, if you like. Man City are as good as both of those teams at those individual things. So Man City are as good as Chelsea defensively, and certainly as good as Liverpool going forward, and that's the big difference.
How will Chelsea see it now, Jimmy?
Well, it's difficult, as what Jamie said. It's a big gap, but you have to, in these moments, you have to concentrate on yourself. You know, you have to win matches. Forget about Man City. You need to win matches, and you don't need to take game after game. You know, they have lost too many or drawn too many matches here. You know, they've lost 12 points at home, and that's a big amount for Chelsea, especially if you want to become champions. That has happened. That is past. It's about the future, and you can only take each game at a time, and that's what you have to concentrate on. Don't look at Man City, because, you know, if Man City loses and you lose, you're going to, you know, you need to win games. That's it.
And there are still a lot of points on the table.
Can I remind you, it's the 2nd of January.
This is what the team we're up against in Manchester City, isn't it?
You know, it's the 2nd of January.
Chelsea and Liverpool.
Well, Graeme, is it fair to say, I mean, obviously, you've been in that position. You mentioned, I think, Liverpool on Boxing Day. You go back to Newcastle at Manchester United, and I think, you know, how often Alex Ferguson won the title, and he'd talk about, you know, on January the 1st, if we're 5 or 6 points away from the leaders, we think we're in a chance. I just feel that's changed now. I feel almost once you get the international breaks out the way in November, it almost feels like they're running. Liverpool, watching it as a Liverpool fan, when Liverpool dropped 2 points at Tottenham, that should not be a bad result, going away to Tottenham and getting a draw in the past. Now it feels like it feels such a big thing to do because of Man City now getting mid-90 points, 100 points. You can't afford to draw games even against big rivals away from home. I feel like in the past, you tell me, Graeme, if you drew a game in December or January, it's not the end of the world.
It was good. A big game away from home draw, you'll take that. But I just feel. Listen, you're talking about Chelsea and Liverpool having to win nearly all their games, not draw. Nearly having to win every single game. From City's point of view, and I've said this earlier today, City, in my opinion, have the strongest group of players ever in the history of English football. As a group, they are stronger than I can ever remember. So if some players get injured, if some players at City go on a downward spiral in terms of form, you can chop it and change it. And there's not a great difference to the starting 11 that ends up starting games. And that's a tremendous strength. The other thing they've got going for them, they can be semi-relaxed about these games. You know, it's not the end of the world if they were to drop a couple of points to someone. Whereas Liverpool and Chelsea are, you know, they're playing under a different kind of pressure.
So what you're saying is that they have to be, they have to be put to the punch.
What I'm saying is it's definitely over. You can never say that in football. And if Pep was sitting here now, he would be saying exactly the same.
He absolutely would.